good morning, YouTube. You caught me laying around again. Today we're going to work abdominals. So, before you begin, you want to have already been warmed up. I usually do abdominals as the last part of my routine. But for today, we're going to go ahead and get started without showing the warm-up. We're just going to presume you've already warmed up. Perhaps you'll do your abdominals at the end of your workout. I usually do mine at the end. Many people, though, if you have a problem being motivated about it, will start at the beginning. While we're doing the exercises, I'm going to talk to you a little bit, take your mind off of things. I always have a little bit of music in when I'm working out by myself, and I do work out alone. Although I do have a training partner, in the afternoon we work out. In fact, I'm going to go see her in a few hours. So we will start. Lay down flat on your back. And the first exercise is going to be ye old sit-up. But we're going to make a change here. The problem with the sit-up has been, especially in the Army, they make you do to maximum repetition, which is fine, but here's the problem. When people are trying to get out that last few sit-ups, they start pulling on their head and their neck, and I have all these neck problems. After a PT test from some of my soldiers, especially the ones that are really working hard and trying to get a maximum score. So what I want you to do, if you have a tendency to do that, is put your thumbs together, like so, and your hands in front of your head. And you're going to get a nice, comfortable position with your feet. Your feet will need to be out a little bit further than normal if you don't have something to put your feet under. If you got some barbells, that's fine. Now, when I do these, I do them with weight. And I'll have a 50-pound kettlebell that I'm holding just above my forehead. But I want you to start with that. That's just where you can get to after a little bit of time. In the interim, this is a good start. Hands here. My feet have got a little traction on the carpet. I'm on my training aid, which is a piece of a towel, which is actually just a towel, laying on top of the carpet. The more padding under your tailbone, the better off. We don't want to have injuries, right? Right. And we're just going to sit up. Now, when you sit up, you want to activate the stomach muscles. That would be your upper and your lower rectus, as well as serratus and intercostal muscles. So, what you do, you're curling as you come up, and then when I get to a full curl type crunch, when I get to the top of the curl, I lift my body up the rest of the way, and that accentuates even further. Suck your stomach in when you do it. Right? When you come down in a controlled fashion. Don't just slam your body down. We're not going for maximum repetitions here. We're going for good form. So we're looking at 10 sit-ups, if you can do that many. 5 is good also, because we're going to do other abdominal exercises in conjunction with this. Here's the problem with most sit-up programs. It's all sit-ups, or rather abdominal programs are all sit-ups. In fact, I called it a sit-up program because that's all there seems to be. Abdominals are all the different angles that we're going to work, and that's where this routine is going to be a little different. Keep in mind too, folks, good abdominals are made in the kitchen. If you're overweight, and that happens. If you're overweight, it's based upon eating poorly. It's not that you're not doing enough sit-ups. I've seen people with huge stomachs, and they do thousands of sit-ups, it seems like, and they come to me and they say, what am I doing wrong? And I say, well, let's talk about what you're eating. And they go, oh, to hell with that. I'm going to eat what I want to. I do a lot of sit-ups. Well, you know, maybe something's missing, right? So, good diet. In fact, I have a friend, he's got a super physique. Awesome, and I wish I looked that good. And he was telling me, in between fighting off all the gym babes, he said, dude, good abs are made in the kitchen. And I agree. And I started doing that, and I saw results. So curl your way up into this. Okay, and we'll try to do 10 of these. Right. Hopefully you're doing them while I'm talking. And don't worry, I'll give you mine later on today. Sabine will make sure of that. We'll get a good ab workout. She always comes over if I look like I'm too comfortable and hands me a heavier weight. That's a good training partner. All right, now stay down in this position. Take your left foot, put it on top of your right knee, and just lay it across there. You can swivel it up closer if you want, or just lay it naturally. Right hand behind your head, or if you're going to be a hair puller or a head puller, I want you to put your hand on the side of your head, okay? If you can lay your hand here comfortably without using it to pull yourself up, you're going to pull up and across. And I want this bow to touch the side of the knee, not the top. I want it to touch the side. Now, an advanced form of this is you scoot your foot up a little bit further, raise your butt up off the floor, and you're going to come straight up. And that's really, oh man, you're going to feel that. It's going to target these rectus muscles down the left side of your rack of abdominal muscles, okay? And we're going to come all the way down, and all the way up, and all the way down, and all the way up. Okay, if you can't do 10, do 5. If you can't do 5, do 3. If you can't do 3, do 1. Do one of each. That's fine. We'll start where we are. Okay, too easy. If you're having a problem pulling yourself up, you can take this left hand, grab your thigh from the back, pull yourself up. But when you get to the top, let go and lower yourself down slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like we did with the sit-up, the assisted sit-up. This is a chin-up. This is an assisted crunch. And this is a left crunch. Now sometimes you see people doing crunches and they're just doing this really short rocking motion. That's not really as effective as doing full range. Okay. How many is that? About 10? I don't know. I haven't counted. Okay, now, guess what we're going to do? We're going to do the other side. Left foot down on the floor. Right knee, or rather right foot on top of left knee. And switch hands. How about that? And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cross up and over. Yeah, you know, on diet, you are what you eat. If your kitchen is full of junky food, you'll be eating it at some point. And all of this hard work, imagine you have this great abdominal set underneath that fat. Once you lose it, man, it's going to look great. You're going to feel great. You're going to have all this extra range of motion, and you're going to feel so awesome. You're going to look good, too. Every time you eat something that's not good for you, think of it like you're taking a tube of caulk and you're squirting in between all of that nice definition work. So hard to get. A lot of people, I'll watch their routine and they've got great abs. You just can't see them. They're hiding under all that food that they've eaten, which has turned to fat. Okay. Now, once we've done 10 of those, we're going to switch back just to our first position with doing these crunches. But now I want you to leave your left hand where it is, okay, and you're going to swivel. You're going to keep your upper body kind of level with the ground, and you're just going to swivel and crunch down to the side. You'll see people doing these standing up with weights because they have big love handles they're trying to get rid of. Well, you kind of got the right idea, but you have to understand when you're using all that extra weight, you're just going to make them bigger. You need to cut down your diet. But do these. These are good. And again, if you're a hair puller or a head puller, I want you to just put your hand either on the front of your head or on the side, make a fist or something else. Right? You know, all we're doing is you're crunching down. When you do these, suck your stomach in. It's always helpful. It trains your muscles to retract against the inner wall. And we want that back wall to be flat. You want to have a nice, smooth stomach, right? With good definition, nice trim look when you got your clothes on, and even better if when you got your shirt on, people can see abdominals do that. That's kind of motivating. As a guy, I like that. And guys, I don't know any women out there who have ever complained and said, "Oh, you have abdominal muscles. I hate abdominal muscles on men. I want a man to be fat." I haven't had a man tell me that yet. A woman tell me that either. I haven't had anybody tell me that they like being punchy. Everybody wants to kind of look at least somewhat athletic, right? Admit it. Go ahead. Come on, be honest. I know for a long time in my life, I was kind of smooth. And there was a period when I got a little overweight. And I didn't like it. And I like things now a lot better. I feel so much better. I don't have back problems. I don't have any of that. Notice I've switched over to this side. I'm sorry. Hopefully you're following along. And when you get to 10, you can go ahead and lay over on your side. Now we're going to do a variation of this crunch. Pull your knees up to where they're comfortable, and this hand can just lay here on the ground, or you can put your hand where you want to, or put it here. Doesn't matter. Put your left hand beside your head. Remember, if you're a hair puller, don't pull on your head. Don't pull by your hair. Put your hand here. You're just going to crunch upward as high as you can. Right? You're going to feel this a little bit in your ribs too, but you're going to feel it down the left side. And also, this love handle is going to get hit. And my love handle's hard as a rock back here. But when I eat eat too much food, I get a little bit of fat that lays right behind my love handle. So not as hard as a rock though, and you'll feel that too. And feel it, stick your finger there, maybe you'll feel it. That's great. Many people have good abs. They just eat too much fatty food in America and too much junk food. So crunching up, right? Too easy. Okay. Guess what we're going to do next? That's right. Lay over on your left side. Same exercise. Okay? And crunching up. And you'll do 10 of these. Put your hand here if you like. Put your hand out here. It doesn't matter. We're not exercising our hand. We're exercising our serratus, intercostal, and our right side rectus muscles. And you want to pull up. If you're having a little problem pulling up, use this elbow to push you up. When you get to the top, try to take your elbow slightly out of the way and lower yourself down using your body weight. That's called working the negative. So this is an assist up, and I let go and I work the negative down. You can incorporate that idea into every exercise out there. Assist yourself to the up position or to the position where there's no resistance when you lower down. Very good. Okay. Now, roll back onto your back. Now that we've done those, we're going to need to work the lower rectus muscles. So, I want you to come sit upward. Put your hands out where they're comfortable to the side. Some people like to put their hands here. I'm a little off balance when I do that. I put my hands out here to the side. And you'll find a place that's comfortable. And you're going to want to kind of sit on your butt. Right? Feet straight to the front. And you're going to pull your legs up and in. Some people will bend them in, but I recommend you keep your knees somewhat together, like so. Okay. And we're going to do 10 of those. Now you may find that putting your hands here helps. And I find that once I get going, that's good. You want to come all the way out. You want to feel it down here in your lower rectus. Okay. I don't know how many that is. I always lose track. I usually do 50, and I do it with weight. Or when you're doing weight for your upper body, you want to make sure you have resistance bands attached to the pipe or to your door gym, whichever one you're at. Now, put your hands underneath your buttocks, like so, with your thumbs, so that they're not grinding into your tailbone. We don't want our tailbone grinding into the ground. Now, because I'm on a pad, I can do these with my hands behind my head. But if you're new to this, I want you to put your hands underneath your buttocks and put your feet straight out. Point your toes, and we're going to flutter kick. This is a punishment exercise when you go to dive school, by the way, and you'll do these endlessly, especially if you make mistakes as often as I do. I got pretty good at these. I still like them, even though I associate them with somebody yelling and screaming at me. However, I've learned to block that out with some music. I have issues, I know. Okay. And you'll want to do 10 4-count exercises. 1, 2, 3, 1. I've lost track. I hope you're keeping up. If you can do 25, when you do this entire routine, do it again. When you can do 50 in a row, start adding weight and start adding more weight. I was doing sit-ups with a 50-pound kettlebell, and this cute little girl comes over when I'm done and said, "Are you done with that?" And I said, "Yes." And so she went over and was doing them with the kettlebell. I felt like I was the Pumpkin King until she had to ruin my picnic. Okay, now that we've done those, the last thing we're going to do is a sort of advanced exercise. This one, got to be careful. We don't want to grind our hip into the mat or the ground. So you want to kind of lay back on your buttocks, on your right buttocks cheek, with your legs crossed over, left over right. Okay. Hands can be out here wherever they can hold you up. I will use resistance bands, and so I'll need to have my kettlebell right here. Cross my feet like so, and I lift up. My butt is what's on the ground, not my hip. You don't want your hip bone pointed into the ground, or you're going to be hurting. Some people will actually come kind of forward when they do this, and they're doing them on their right leg. They're doing them actually, the hip is back a little bit off the mat. Do not get straight up on the side and grind that hip bone. Whew, that's going to hurt, and that's going to cause problems later on. All right? And these can be done a number of ways. You can put your hands here. You can put your hands behind your head, and do kind of a side jackknife. They call these V-ups, all kinds of names for them. I don't know what they are called, but I do know what they look like, and I do know we're trying to work the left rectus muscle, okay? So up we go. Yay. I'm having some issues today. I apologize for my speech. I try to make all my videos on a day when I'm having no issues, but it's been a rough week. So here I am, stuttering and shaking a little bit, but hopefully you're ignoring that. You can turn the volume off if you like. Okay, and now I'll get on the left side, and we're going to repeat the process. Remember, don't put your hip into the mat or the floor. You can hurt yourself. Okay, and right leg. Notice my left foot kind of curls around. Keep myself stable. Okay, and I will have a kettlebell and I have a weight, but here I can just put my hands behind my head, and my left arm is on the floor. All right, and work your way up from wherever you are to 25. And when you do the whole thing, if you get done, go back and do it again. And when you're up to doing the whole routine twice, you can do 50 at one time with some weights. And when you get up to where you've got 50 pounds on your chest doing sit-ups and everything else, hopefully some cute little girl won't come up and ask if you're done so she can have the thing. Because then you'll just be doing 60s next week, which is on the schedule for me today. Okay, so the last thing you want to do is we'll do stretching. When you come back, we will look at stretching. Hey, thanks folks, and remember, good abs are